Hey everybody, Cara here from Perspective-Based Parenting, and it's day 3 of our series that as parents we're connecting all over the world. Well, our kids are home and it's nap time here right now, so it's quiet, so I'm taking advantage to get this done. Okay, I've got a lot of notes today, so you may see me looking, but I'm totally right here with you. So how did it go yesterday? I'd love to know. Send me an email. Drop it in the comments. How did it go yesterday? Did you think about mindset shifting? What type of things came up for you? Did you wake up today with a slightly different mindset and a different way of looking at what your day might be? And most importantly, what were the 3 opportunities that you identified as being possible growth opportunities for your children during this time and for yourself in connection with your kids? Keep all that in the back of your mind as we move forward today. I said we were going to talk about schedule, and we are. But first, I'm going to insert a little bit of talk about method. Because having a schedule is fantastic unless you know what to fill it with. If you don't, a schedule is rather useless. As a teacher, as a caregiver, as an educational consultant, and most recently as a nanny and a parenting consultant, with 25 plus years under my belt, I can tell you about methodology from my perspective and what I believe to be the most effective way for your children to learn. When I say learn, it's a comprehensive term. You'll hear me say this over and over and over because I want to drive it home. To be able to learn cognitively, ABCs, 1, 2, 3s, colors, numbers, all the things a lot of people focus really intensely on as being important skills to have in order for school. I don't disagree with that statement, but I believe that how they learn those things is very important. And I'm going to get to that a little bit later, so hang with me, okay? So let's talk about method within your mindset. Play-based learning is where I live. I believe everything can be learned through effective, directed play. All those cognitive pieces, the social, emotional, interactive pieces, the interpersonal sharing and turn-taking pieces, the ability to wait, the ability to advocate for yourself, the ability to self-soothe when things didn't quite go your way, all of these things. Cognitive, social, emotional, interpersonal. Those are the skill sets that I care about growing in little people between 0 and 5 years old. And with a really strong foundation, they'll sail through all those really specific cognitive pieces that kindergarten talks about. Regardless of where your child goes typically right now, whatever daycare center or preschool they attend, public, private, Christian, Montessori, play-based, Waldorf, all of the above. You've heard parents all over the globe Facebooking and talking about homeschooling their kids during this elongated period of time. I want to be perfectly clear with you, that is not your job. Your kids are infants, toddlers, and preschoolers. And you have enough to do with managing your own work situation, dealing with your financial situation, communicating effectively with your partner about child care within the home and who's responsible for what, making sure you have enough food on the table for your family. You've got a big to-do list that evolved all by itself. Homeschooling your kids is not a required activity for you right now. Okay, that being said, playing with them is. And through intentional play, And I'm going to dive way deep into that on a different day, and the techniques and strategies that go into an intentional play-based, an adult-directed play-based experience. Through intentional play, they'll be learning. So you are doing your job. You don't have to make lesson plans. You don't need workbooks. You don't need educational background. You don't need any of these things. You just need you. Your kids just need you right now. That's it. Okay, so I hope that took a load off your shoulders and off your mind. One last thing to do on that multitasking brain of yours right now. So I've already told you, I'm going to say it again, it's so important that I believe kids learn all they need through guided and supported play. This time at home, yesterday we talked about how you actually have more time available to you to spend with your children right now. And that's unique, right? So this time at home gives you an opportunity to use it well. Pretty exciting stuff, right? Okay, so let's talk schedule. Why is it so important? Why can't you just flow through your day like you would a typical weekend? Whatever happens, happens. Whatever comes next, comes next. Because it's very uncomfortable for your children. In some cases, it's even a sense of insecurity. And each of your kids is such a unique little being. Each of them has their own really strong personality traits, things that are very simple for them to navigate, things that are really hard for them to figure out. I can't speak to all those things because I don't know you specifically. I don't know you from my heart. I hope someday too. That would be wonderful. I want to hear from you guys, okay? But I can tell you that globally, in child psychology and in cognitive development of kids, it is well known and well documented. Kids feel safe. They feel secure within a very concrete routine and structure. Within those parameters, they are capable of working on the emotional regulation, the how to react to situations. They are capable of putting some pieces together that they didn't have before. If I do this, then this happens. I liked that outcome, so maybe I'll do this again. Okay? So because it's such a challenging environment right now for everybody anyway, it's even more important that you put a schedule into place. Does it have to be complicated? No, of course not. It can be broad. The schedule blocks can be quite wide, but it's important that your kids know this is happening, and then this is happening, and then this is happening. I'm going to put up an image, and I personally chose a nice, broad, simple Montessori preschool schedule as an example. It's the way that I care give, and so it feels real familiar to me, so that's the one I'm choosing to use. I highly, highly recommend that you think about categories and design your own based on what you have in your home, based on the toys you have, based on the different categories of learning that you'd like them to pick up on through play. And of course, this is also age-based. And you're going to see in this graphic that they talk about babies and they talk about toddlers and the different opportunities for play that is available to each one. So think about what you have. Puzzles. Do you have just plain paper? Whatever it is that you have around, because this is not a go out and buy stuff to create your own curriculum. We truly are using the resources available to us within our walls. Take a few seconds, hit the pause button, look this over, screenshot it if you want to, and think about how something like this could apply in your home. So the next piece to think about is based on the schedule that you have made with your partner, with your husband, with your wife. That takes priority. Ooh, sorry. Right? So it's very important that you and your partner get your needs met first. That's the first schedule to get concrete. Who's working during what times? When they're working, the other partner is taking care of the children. If one hears an issue and feels like they want to swoop in, don't. So-and-so's in charge at this time. Do not get involved. Work that out with your partner first. Once you know, okay, I have the kids between 6 a.m. and noon. Then look over your categories. What do you love to do? Do you love arts and crafts? Great. Build in some time for that. Do you love reading? Excellent. Create a reading station and just get a plain piece of paper and any stickers or stamps that you have around. And for every book you read, put a sticker. Every book you read, make a stamp mark. And there's actually a really cool program that is called 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten. I'll put up the link for you. And through it, if you enroll, you can get free books and other items. And the long-term benefit, I'm all about long-term here, is that kids who read or are read to every single day between 0 and 5 years old, kindergarten, have a much higher literacy rate and have, I forget the exact number, I'll look it up for you, but it was a specific number of vocabulary words that they had in their linguistic ability that other kids who were starved for books do not have. It's pretty remarkable. See how you can use the time, choose the time for your long-term outcomes. Do you have excess rice or noodles? Make a sensory table. Do you love to cook? Find some fantastic recipes that are super easy and kid-friendly and cook with your toddler. There are a million ways to fill this time that the benefits outweigh anything you could choose to do in its place. You're creating a deeper relationship with your child simply by spending time with them. And you're creating a really wonderful learning outcome simply by playing with them. I am so sad what's happening in this globe right now. Trust me, there's no one in the world with a larger bleeding heart than me. However, I choose to see the benefit of the pause button. That's basically what's happening. The world is hitting the pause button and saying, take a deep breath, everybody. Stay home. Reconnect with the people who are most important to you so as not to spread this virus any further. Here's a chance to redesign and deepen your relationships with the people you love without the chaos, without commutes, without distractions, without I've just got to go do, without the grocery shopping and the car vehicle service appointments and all the dentist appointments, without the world telling you and you reacting to those needs. You're the architect here. You get to design your days. Yes, for many of you, part of that day, the requirement is that you do the work via telecommuting that you committed to doing to the company you work for. Okay. There's a lot of hours in a day. And if you choose to design it well, you're going to surprise yourself by how much fun you have with your kids, by how much you start to learn from your kids. The parts and sides of them that you don't get to see all that often. Their little senses of humor coming out. I highly recommend getting down on the ground and observing them, watching them. It'll be the most instructional few minutes you spend that day. So tonight, after thinking about all this and reading the articles and looking at the sample schedule, put together one of your own, something that speaks to you. Please keep this in mind. It doesn't have to be perfect. Nothing ever is. Later on in this series, we're going to talk about proactive crisis management and how we assess and reassess and get things to the space that works right for us. But for right now, you just need a starting space. And the starting space is make your first schedule. All right. And then come on back tomorrow and we're going to talk about the power of a plan, which is different than a schedule. Okay. Thinking about all you mamas and papas, grandmas and grandpas, aunts and uncles, caregivers, nannies, everybody out there who is redefining their days to get through this. And we can. Together and apart, we've totally got this. See you tomorrow.